This time, I'm going to give you your feedback on the second discussion about the primary sources. The first question was who or what was responsible for the end of the Republic? I wanted you to focus on who, according to the three primary sources, authors that we were reading, rather than in general who or what was to blame. Sallust blames a general decline in morals. He says that once everything was okay in Rome, and then they became too successful and powerful and lacked a foreign enemy to unite them, therefore they all turned to just being out for number one. Caesar blames Pompey. He doesn't often name Pompey in this source, but that's Caesar's main rival. He says that Pompey did not act honorably. He also blames the Senate for being weak. Cicero blames Caesar. He's very clearly against Caesar, sees him as somebody who is just out for his own benefit, for sole power, in the words of Cicero. The second question asked, how do the three authors disagree on who or what was responsible? Well, Sallust, as we've seen, does not blame any one person. He sees it as a systemic problem, a general problem of decline in public service and public morals. Caesar presents himself as acting very public-spiritedly. He goes to great lengths to say, I did nothing wrong, I was legally appointed, I was only acting for the good of the Republic. So Caesar, like Sallust, doesn't blame himself, obviously, and doesn't blame any one person except maybe Pompey. Cicero is very different in the sense he's very anti-Caesar, as we've seen before. This brings me to my third question about the positions of these authors. How do the three sources reflect the author's biases or perspectives? Sallust was pro-Caesar. He was an ally of Caesar in the civil wars. He doesn't mention Caesar at all in this extract, but you could argue that it's in his benefit as a friend of Caesar not to blame any one person. If you just blame it on a decline of morals, a decline of the Republic, then it's easier to see Caesar as someone who served the Republic rather than the person responsible for its decline. Caesar, again, says, I'm not doing anything wrong. Obviously, Caesar is going to support himself, clearly. Clearly, he's going to be biased in favor of himself. But it's interesting to see how he makes the argument, how he presents himself as public-spirited. And he writes in third person. He wants to appear objective. So he doesn't write saying, I did this, I did that. He says, Caesar did this, Caesar did that. And finally, Cicero, who, as we've seen, is very clearly anti-Caesar. He was an enemy of Caesar. He made speeches in the Senate opposing Caesar's rise. He kind of crafted an image of himself as the defender of the Republic. He was famous for making eloquent speeches against people who he saw as the enemy of the Republic. Caesar was just one of those.